What would the world be without music?
Good afternoon. My name is Jerome Queen. I'm the assistant band director here at Morgan State University.
What would the world be without music?
Man, the world would be flat. Like almost everything that has happened historically, music has some involvement into it. Music is tied into history, language, like sound. We wouldn't have a lot of things. It'd be a very black and white world, I think, without music. It would not be fun. And I don't think a lot of people realize like you have to listen to yourself all the time. And I don't know if you're like me, I hate hearing my own voice. So it's like I'd rather listen to music.
Since an early age, Jerome has found that music gives him a reason to be great, regardless of his surroundings.
Music has given my life a lot of purpose. Like, I'm from Baltimore. I grew up over in West Baltimore, and growing up, I didn't know like what I could be in life, and then joining band, being engaged in music, let me know the opportunities are endless. Like, I never expected in a million years that I'd be the assistant band director at Morgan State University. I dreamed of it, I hoped of it, but I never thought it would really happen. Like from when I first picked up a flute and then which became a saxophone, and I felt a connection out, and I didn't realize what was happening, but music had me in the chokehold, to say the least. And without it, it led me to a whole bunch of great places. I got to travel. I've got to do a whole bunch of things without music that, if I would have just lived a normal life, I don't think I would have ever done. Like my first bit of traveling was from being with the band, being able to learn about HBCUs and college culture and Greek life. All that came from being in band, and my wanting to be an educator and be a teacher came because I was in band. And so like without those things, I don't know what like I would be doing. Well, I can tell you easily what I'd be doing. I'd probably be, honestly, I'd probably be on the corner. I'd probably be someone's dope boy. Like I went to college, but all my friends, they stayed where they were. My mom used to say there's more to life than the four corners of the neighborhood we lived in. And music got me off the four corners. Instead of being in the neighborhood, being in the hood, in the house, I was in the band room practicing. I made new friends who lived in different parts of the city that I never really knew existed. I went to college and I was on scholarship, and I got to experience different kinds of culture. Like, I don't think I would have had that without music. I wasn't the best academically, so my music scholarships is what got me to college and got me through. So music, like, that's my, like, outside of my son, that's my purpose. If I couldn't wake up and come to work in a band room every day, I don't think I could face life every day, for me.
It is most common that when listening to music, whether by yourself or with friends and family, it is for enjoyment. It is the performer's energy or the artist's skillful nature that we benefit from the most. Nevertheless, it is the healing and comforting factors of music that still keeps people balanced. Demetrius Chambliss, a Howard alumnus and now graduate student at Boston University, studies music therapy and the benefits that it has on the mind and the soul.
Sometimes it can be the soul, treatment, especially like with people with like depression, maybe anxiety, stuff like that. This is their therapy. But yeah.
So in my work, at one point I worked with dementia patients a lot, right? I worked in hospice. And one thing I came across with music therapy was that the music really allowed them to tap into memories that they otherwise wouldn't have remembered. There's times where they don't even know their husbands, their wives, their kids. They don't even know who these people are. But you can sing a song like You Are My Sunshine or Bicycle Bill for Two or something of that nature, something that they grew up singing, and they're saying every word.
Jerome discusses how, even though in a crisis of a car accident, he continues to go to a concert so that he can stay grounded.
last year, before I even started working here, Dr. Reed invited me to sit in with the symphonic band, and play with the spring concert. And I came to the couple rehearsals, and he was like, hey, the concert's on I want to say the 28th is what it was. And so that morning I had something to do in DC, and I ended up being late. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta hurry up and get back to Morgan. Like, I don't like being late to things. I had my clothes in my car and I'm booking it, and it was raining. And on the way, I was 10 minutes from campus. My car lost control, and I actually crashed into like the side of the road. Like, I completely totaled my car, which was new at the time. And luckily there was someone there. We called the police, and like, I'm shook up, but I wasn't hurt in any way. I was shook. And like, at the time, my mind is just, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I have a concert, I just lost a car. Like, like my mind is going a million minutes a second. Like, I'm panicking. And then I just heard a voice in my head just say, go to the concert. And I was thinking about how I'm gonna get home, how I'm gonna get to work the next day. But I went and just played at the concert. And I told her, I was like, hey, Dr. Reed, this is before we had an inkling that I'd be working here. I don't think nobody in the world had an idea at the time. And I was like, hey, I'm late, but it was because I got into an accident. He just looked at me. He was like, you still gonna play? And I was like, yeah, my saxophone's right here. And music is healing, and so as I'm playing through the concert, I feel the stress leave my body. Like, I'm feeling like, okay, I'm relaxed. I don't think if I had that concert, I don't think I would have figured it out. I don't think I would have had that much clarity. I wouldn't have been able to reach out to the people I needed to for help. And then, not to mention, it did help that the concert was a paid performance. I ended up getting paid for doing it. So it helped out with what I needed it to at the time as well. And so, even though it's like, it's a small thing, but that whole day and that ordeal, without music, I don't know how I would have made it to the end of that day intact, like, as a person. Like, I would have probably been beaten and tattered.
Organizations like Save the Music Foundation have been studying places across the country to find what is the benefit of music education. A prime example of the lack of support for music education comes from a city full of culture, New Orleans. It is reported that in 2018, only 17% of New Orleans public schools had the instruments they needed for music programs. And of that, only 37% of schools reported having concert band programs, despite having educators agreeing that these programs are essential to students.
There's space for everyone in music, no matter where you're from, no matter what's your background, no matter what you do. And it doesn't matter that, you came from Howard County and I'm from Baltimore City, you're from DC. Like, we all find a common ground in music. And I think that's something that everyone should have a chance to take part in that knowing that being in music in some way or form, everyone is welcome. There's not much music that's about not being welcoming to people. The whole gist of music is about making everyone feel better.